Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'd like to welcome you to our article review. And before I do the article review, I'd like to let you know that the purpose is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It is not to take credit for the intellectual property which belongs to the publisher, in this case, which is Best Life, and the story by Abby Reinhardt. Okay, that out of the way, let's get to the article. This is actually a short article. Um, I will leave the link to the full article, but I just want to get the idea of what's happening about it. And I think also I will read the full article as well. Now, headline reads USPS is suspending services in California, Arizona, and Tennessee effective immediately. Another post office is closed in Arizona. Yesterday, USPS has announced that its Chambers Post Office 800 Highway 191 at Chambers, Arizona, has been temporarily closed. According to USPS service alerts, the closure is related to water damage. While the Chambers post office was closed, customers can pick up their mail and access retail services at the Sanders Post Office at 100 Highway 191 South. In a statement provided by Best Life, Sherry Patterson of the USPS Strategic Communications clarified that the water damage was a result of recent rain and flooding. Currently, the Postal Service does not have a date for reopening, Patterson said, reassuring customers that quote, will be notified as soon as the Chambers Post Office reopens, unquote. Okay. Now, I will have the link here. You can see, and this will give you the full article. I just want to give you the idea about what's happening as it relates to that. Let's go to our second article. And before I talk about the second article, I would like to reiterate the purpose of the review is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property. The full credit of the intellectual property goes to the publisher, which is in this case 1945, and the story by Peter Fuccio. I have that correct? Okay. If I don't, well, I apologize for mispronouncing the name, but that's how it appears to be in English. Okay, so here you can actually see a picture of an aircraft carrier. This is copyrighted by the 1945 Newport News via April 8, 2017. Pre-commissioning unit Gerald R. Ford CVN 78. Sailors man the rails of the ship departing Huntington Ingalls Industry. Newport News shipbuilding for builders' sea trials off the coast. The first of the class ship. The first new U.S. carrier design in 40 years. We'll spend several days conducting builders' sea trials, a comprehensive test of many of the ship's key systems and technologies. U.S. Navy photo by Chief Mass Communications Specialist Christopher Dillon. Also, we have a picture here. It says copyright provided by 1945, and it says the caption says U.S. Navy China. Not sure what that means, but that's okay. All right, so headline reads: the Navy just sent its most powerful aircraft carrier to Russia's military backyard. There are probably worse ways to spend a summer in a cruise in the Mediterranean, even if it happens to be aboard the U.S. Navy's largest warship. It wasn't exactly a working vacation by any means for the sailors and Marines and aviators and other personnel on the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford, which is CVN 78, which has been operating in the water since mid-June. The flagship of the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group was spotted passing through the Strait of Gibraltar on June 15. Its arrival marked the return of U.S. carrier to the Mediterranean after a brief absence. U.S. Navy maintained a carrier presence in the region from December 2021 to April 2023 as part of response to the Russo-Ukraine War, that is. latest sailing was another deterrence patrol arrived at Russia again. USS George H.W. Bush, as in CVN 77, departed the Mediterranean in April after spending 230 days in the waters. She returned home to Norfolk after an 8-month deployment. CVN 77 has relieved the Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group, which spent 9 months on patrol in the region. Ford summered in the Mediterranean. USS Gerald R. Ford deployed the rest of the strike group in May for its worldwide deployment. For its month traveling the Mediterranean, the nuclear-powered supercarrier made a port call in Oslo, Norway. Went under NATO command while sailing in the Arctic Circle. Indeed, Russia was watching closely. He said, "Our presence at sea through the department will provide reassurance to our allies and partners that the sea lanes will remain open and our joint operations will demonstrate our commitment to interruptibility and maritime stability." Rear Admiral Greg Huffman, which is the commander of the Carrier Strike Group 12, said in a statement in June. The carrier recently took part in joint training operations in the Hellenic Navy, with the Hellenic Navy, which is of course Greece, and made a scheduled port visit last month in the Greek capital of Athens. The largest RAS for the largest carrier. See a video here which you can watch on your own, which I'll also watch. It gives pretty much a summary of what I'm saying here. You can see some video of it, which is, as they say, as the Chinese proverb goes, a picture means 1,000 words. The crew probably had a chance to sample Osaka, Saganaki, Sovalki while in Greece, as well as some time to see the sights and pick up some souvenirs. Meanwhile, the world's largest aircraft carrier recently received could be described as the world's largest delivery of goods in the U.S. Navy. On August 17, the Gerald R. Ford successfully completed its largest replenishment at sea, the RAS, with dry cargo and ammunition ship USNS Megar Evars. U.S. Navy reported that during the RAS, the carrier received its 144 pallets of mail, 161 pallets of general stock, 297 pallets of provisions, and 17 pallets of store merchandise. While receiving supplies while we operate at sea ensures our crew continually execute the mission, said Lieutenant Commander Wanda Cullen, the General R. Ford's principal assistant for services. Not only are we receiving mail, but we are also restocking our food stores, and more importantly, any material parts that are needed. RAS days are long, but they truly show that our crew comes together, contributing with working parties on the flight deck, in the hangar bay, and below decks. As a reminder of the deployment is no vacation, sailors assigned to the carrier's deck department received 116 pallets via connected replenishment, while the Tridents of Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 9 simultaneously helped transport the remaining 505 pallets via vertical replenishment. A 250-man working party made up of sailors from each department was formed to move stores as they received on board. You can see a picture here. Oh, the same picture I just showed you. Yep. And yeah, 22103-N-Z, UK 647-1031 Atlantic Ocean. A view from the first in-class aircraft carrier, U.S. General Gerald R. Ford, CVN 78, from aboard Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser, USS Normandy, CG-60. As Normandy participates in the tactical force exercise as part of the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group. Excuse me. On October 13, 2022, Ford is on its inaugural deployment, conducting training and operations alongside NATO allies and partners to enhance integration for future operations and demonstrate the U.S. Navy's commitment to a peaceful, stable stable, conflict-free Atlantic region. U.S. Navy photos by Mass Communication Specialist Second Class Malachi Lackey. In addition to over 600 pallets of goods received, Drill R4 also offloaded 124 pallets of food supplies, outgoing mail, and waste. It was just another day for the carrier as business as usual for her crew. So that's what that is. And we've got a third article. And before I do that, I'd like to let you know this is review of this article is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take credit for intellectual property. The full credit for the intellectual property goes to the publisher, which in this case is Inside EV's Global. And the story by Lulian Justrin? Justrin? Yes. Okay. Excuse me if I pronounce that correctly. Excuse me. All right, let's start the article here. Headline reads Fast charging versus slow charging. Study reveals difference in range degradation. So this is for EV vehicles or electronic vehicles. Recurrent Auto analyzed data from 12,500 Tesla vehicles in the United States. One of the thoughts that go around the mind of EV owner has to do with the impact that DC fast charging will have on the vehicle's high voltage battery in the long run. In other words, how much will the battery degrade over time if fast charging is used predominantly? Well, according to the recent study from Recurring Auto that analyzed charging data from 12,500 Tesla vehicles in the United States, the rate of degradation is statistically similar when compared to AC charging. The company which provides vehicle and battery analysis reports for EVs compared cars that have fast charging at least 90% of the time to cars and fast charge less than 10% of the time. And the results show little to no difference between the two charging methods. The charts below show the percentage of the original range as shown on the car's dashboard, in this case Tesla Model 3 and Tesla Model Y, and the number of days. Choosing between DC over AC isn't the only thing that can affect the battery in the long run. Factors such as extreme temperatures and very low or very high states of charge also playing a big role of the big scheme of things. And here you can see a line graph. So vertically, that's percentage of range. Horizontally, which is the rounded battery days. And for the blue curve, you have frequent fast charge, and for green curve, we have rare fast charge. This is the overall impact of frequent fast charging Tesla Model Y 4,400 vehicles. We have two matrices to look at. So basically, the more days, the more it degrades. It basically starts degrading about somewhere around halfway between 0 and 200. Maybe a little bit less than half. So maybe about 75 days in, then it starts degrading. Here we see a video you can watch. Tesla Model Y DC for an AC charging battery degradation chart. Tesla Model 3 DC versus AC charging battery degradation chart, which you just saw above. However, as recurrence results show above, the robust thermal voltage and battery management systems that EVs have invested in do to protect their batteries from damage from routine fast charger use. To help the battery last as long as possible using the preconditioning factor of utmost importance both in extreme heat and extreme cold, as this brings the cells to the optimal temperature before plugging in the charging connector. Another tip is to avoid charging at very low states or very high states of charge, as battery resistance is higher at these levels, plus additional stress on the battery. will do it for our three articles here. I'm going to have an evening edition as I did not upload my article review yesterday. Um, so, I'm going to pose the question to you about all three articles. What do you think about these three articles? First of all, about USPS is suspending services in California, Arizona, and Tennessee effective immediately. And also about the Navy has just sent its most powerful aircraft carrier to Russia's military backyard. And also fast charging versus slow charging. Study reveals difference in range degradation. You're welcome to give your opinion on the matter. What do you think of these articles? What is your opinion? Is it good? Is it bad? What is your assessment? Just keep in mind there are a couple of ground rules. Number one, no threatening language. No, no insulting language. We want to keep this constructive as to contribute something positive to this video. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. Right, so I'd like to thank you for watching this quick review of articles. I'll have an evening edition. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is please click like on the video so we'll be pushing the algorithm and more people will be able to see it and be informed about the news. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all my videos on this channel, as I do a variety of content on this channel. Everything ranging from IT certification, reviews, gaming, etc. Also, if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. And I would like to thank you for watching this video, as it is much greatly appreciated. I'd like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll talk to you this evening.